No, I'm not going to talk about being a baby boomer. Though I am one, or perhaps one of those that were called Generation Jones, or the Cusp Generation. Found that out by looking for the official dates of the baby boomer generation. I also found out that those who were born in China, in my generational parentheses, were subject to cultural revolution and birth restrictions. The state subsidized the saying of no to unwanted pregnancies, while we had to fight for such. Now, they are trying to convince the people to have kids, while the offspring of my fellow boomers are almost being forced to do so. Funny how that is, isn't it? But well, for those who do not know me from previous contact, I'm Revel Arroway. I was born in 1959 on the 4th of July. I'm an American who left the States back at the end of the 80s and has lived in Spain since then. If you're curious, I've explained my first 4 decades on my podcast. You're listening to Radio Revel. Here's where you can find you know where to find the links to a playlist of those episodes and to the podcast itself. That out of the way, I've started this Substack mainly because I want a separate place to leave these thoughts of mine. The podcast I've run for the past 5 years is more creative. I like to do radio drama, tell stories, talk about movies and TV. Yet, from time to time, I feel that I've got something to say about the current events that carry on around us. And while the first of the baby boomers are just closing in on their 80s, and a lot of them have gone on to greener pastures, I'm still here and think I should participate in carrying the flag of our generation's collective memory, while subsequent generations move the dial in their own way. So, filtering here, bringing the social and political content over here to Substack in an attempt to compartmentalize stuff. I think that's what I'm doing. I like writing my scripts on this type of platform. I've got the podcast scripts on a WordPress blog. I've started up a publication on Medium where I talk about my podcast journey. Yet, that's where things began to bleed out. That journey necessarily included realizations about how what I was creating in the fictional realm was closely tied to the real-world realm I watch from the peanut gallery. First posts here will actually be stuff I import from both You're Listening to Radio Revel and other platforms like Medium and YouTube. I don't mind repeating stuff across the internet, something Google tried to punish us for about a decade ago. I do believe there are people who read Substacks who never open YouTube or listen to podcasts. I'm honestly not just trying to put my work into appropriate niches, but also trying to find more audience without using the so-called social media, which is, for me, far from social. What is social about slinging shit? Maybe I should be asking the chimps. I'm just getting my stuff here and there, and maybe running into others who find my stuff interesting. Thanks for checking out this post. There is a video version, this. There is a podcast episode, the audio version, and there is a written version, and the links to all of them are where you usually find links. And please remember to listen, like, subscribe, and share. Cheers.
You're listening to Radio Revel.